Greetings, estudiantes. Today we'll be speaking on operating systems. Okay, now as you can hear by the beat, we have to take the operating system very seriously because the operating system controls all the hardware and all the software on the computer system, whether it's your phone, whether it's your tablet, whichever one. Okay, but I'm jumping ahead. First of all, bear in mind at the end of this topic, we'll be having a test, but I'm jumping the gun. Let us go ahead and start from scratch. Okay, operating system. Operating system, a lot of times shortened as OS. OS stands for operating system. Now, please bear in mind there are many different types. There are some very old ones. There are new modern ones. We'll be taking it from the modern one and going back a little bit. We won't go back too far, but just to let you know that there are many types of operating systems. Okay, so I'm going to put OS in red. Yes, I'm putting it in red. Why? Because I want you to remember that abbreviation. OS stands for operating system. You never know, you just might see it on your test. What is the operating system? All right. So, the operating system controls how all software applications, games, or other programs work on the computer. Alright, let's break that down. So, the OS, aka the operating system, controls, what does it do? It's in charge. It controls how all the software, applications, games, or other programs.
Yes, my master.
If you don't remember, please refer to your notes on what is software, what is application. We all know the various games already, and what are programs. You should have learned that from grade 7, but just in case you didn't. Software is a set of instructions that have been written in binary. Nowadays, software are called what? Apps. Applications. App is a shortened form for application. Good test question. Alright, everybody know again. Everybody play a game. Somebody have to stress in a game. Okay. So when we put these instructions written in binary together, they form programs. So what's a program? A program is a collection of what? Instructions that what consist of, right, ones and zeros. Another name for that is binary. Binary is the computer language. Binary, B-I-N-A-R-Y. Okay, let's move on. Now that we know what it is and what it does, now we can look at the details. They always say the devil's in the details. Let's see. File management. The operating system controls or is in charge of file management. Okay, what's a file? Alright, so anything that you put on the computer system is a file. So if you take a picture on your phone, it is a picture file and it is saved somewhere in the phone. The operating system on the phone determines where it is stored, which folder. Think of the folder as a bag or a basket. You have a music basket, a music folder. You have a picture folder, a picture basket. You have, what else can you save? Game, you have a game basket. You can save games in your folder. And you have different types of folder for a variety of things. Okay. So when we say the operating system controls or manages the files on the computer, the tablet, the phone, iPod, whatever you're using, it means that it determines where the things are saved. Now sometimes when you try to save something, it will ask you, where do you want it saved? And you will say, save it in the My Documents, save it in the My Pictures, save it in the new folder or bag or basket, whichever one. And it will save it there for you. So now whenever you go back, you can always look for it. Most operating systems allow you to search if you remember the name of the file. If you can remember the name of the file, you can search for it. So when we say file management, we just mean where you put what. The operating system ensures it keeps track of where everything is. That's basically what file management means. So if you delete a file, the operating system will keep track of it and say, this file no longer exists. How many people delete them homework and say, Miss, me delete my homework by accident? Matter of fact, a lot of students save their work on their thumb drives and never back it up. No, I'm not talking about the DJ say. I'm talking about saving it on a different device. So let's go on to saving. A lot of students who do SBAs, and this is a warning for you in grade 9, a lot of students who do SBAs don't save their work on multiple devices. They save their work on a thumb drive only for the thumb drive loss, thumb drive thief, thumb drive mashup. I'm advising you, please, to ensure you save your work on multiple devices. If you use the one at school, save it on the computer at school. If you use the laptop on your yard, save it on your laptop on your yard. Save it on your thumb drive. If you use your friend's computer, save it on your friend's computer. Save it everywhere, because anything can happen, and then you can always go back to multiple devices and retrieve your work. It doesn't only go for SBA, it goes for all projects. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So the operating system is responsible for saving. Alright, so what do we save now? We save money, we save lives, we save time. We can also save our work. The operating system determines where we save it, and it determines how it is saved, as well as in general saving. Alright, and I've already told you the benefits of saving on multiple devices. Alright, moving on. Copying. The operating system is responsible for copying files. So if you have a picture of the girl there, you want to make a copy and back it up just in case, you can copy the file. Or maybe it's a Denzel Washington picture or a Cardi B song. You can create a copy of it and you can save it somewhere else on the computer. You can email it, whatever. So the operating system is responsible for copying. Okay, it's also responsible for renaming. Now if you're going to manage the files, you should be able to save the files, copy the files, rename the files. The name might be too long, so you might choose a shorter name, or you might want to name it something to help you remember it, make it easier to find, especially when you have a lot of stuff stored. I may have a lot of stuff stored on my computer. It's very hard to find things sometimes. So I categorize them and name them by folder. Yes, you can rename folders as well, not just files. And then you can search for it using the search bar. Alright. Then we have what? It's responsible for deleting files. It keeps track of which files are deleted. If you deleted the picture, it will tell you this file no longer exists. It keeps track of which program and software as well is deleted. So if you delete the app off of the phone, the tablet, the laptop, the PC, it will say this program, this file, this picture, this song, whatever has been deleted, this game has been deleted. So therefore the operating system is responsible for, let's go through it, file management, saving, whether files or everything else, copying, renaming, deleting files. Okay. So now, let me show you a good way to remember this. I use linking when I said, what do you save? You save money, you save lives, that's linking. So we take something you already know and link it to something that you do know. Alright. Most of you have gone to the library and you have copied something out of a book and you paste it in your local project. Right. Okay, so most of us know about copying already. That's photocopying though. We're talking about copying files here. Alright. Renaming. Some people change their names. Okay, some people, nobody wants to be called Adolphus, so they change their name maybe to Andy. I don't know. Deleted. I explained to you that we can also delete files. Alright, so easy way to remember this now is called making up an acronym. Difference between an abbreviation and an acronym. The abbreviation does not form a word. So OS does not form a word. That's an abbreviation. Just like TVJ or CVM, it doesn't form a word. Those are abbreviations. BBC. Okay. However, acronyms are letters that mean something that form a word. So RAM, which you learned in grade 7, you met again in grade 8, RAM is an acronym because it forms a word. We can make up an acronym using the first letters in the following words and phrases. It's very simple. You don't have to use my style. You can use your own style. Father, which is file, said, copy, rename, delete. Father say, copy, rename, delete. File management, saving, copying, renaming, deleting files. You don't have to use mine. You can make up your own. Something you would remember. That's just what popped into my head, and you can use it to help you remember what the operating system does. Moving on. Let's look now at the popular types of operating systems. And these include Windows 10. Everybody and them grandmother know Windows 10. So here we have Windows 10. And everybody knows Windows 10 by now because what? It's very popular. It's the latest one. Windows 10 is the latest operating system that Microsoft has put out. And if you don't know, Microsoft is what most people in the Western Hemisphere use. They dominate the Western Hemisphere. Windows 8 is another type of operating system. So, first we have Windows 10, which dominated the market. Then, before that, we had Windows 8. Windows 8, it was useful, but a little bit buggy. But most persons use it anyway. It was what we had at the time. Then we have Windows 7, which is not included here. But Windows 7 was before Windows 8. That one is relevant because we use it for a long time. We use Windows 7 for a long time, so that one is relevant. Windows 2000. It's another one. That was way back in the day. Probably before most of you were born, maybe. But that was a good while ago. Alright, so the next one is Windows NT. Windows NT stands for Networking Technology. This was more for like, if you go in the room 18 of the computer lab, you see all the computers on one big computer, right? That's a server. Windows NT is a server operating system. Think of the server as the queen in the hive of bees. So I'm linking it. Think of the server as the queen in the hive of bees. And she tells all the worker bees, the army bees, the caretaker bees, the baby bees what to do. That's what the operating server does. Windows NT is one such. They have other types, but we don't need to know every single one. Alright, now Linux. Linux is another operating system. It is independent of Windows. Do you notice that there's no Windows on Linux? Alright, Linux is free. You can go online, you can download it, you can install it, you can use it. It's free. It is competition for Windows. Now, granted, Windows gets more viruses, it gets more attacked. Linux, not so many viruses. It's more stable. As a matter of fact, I tried to switch. It's just that my antivirus deleted the folder with it, so I didn't get to install it. But I'm switching to Linux. as soon as I get another copy, because Linux is more stable and better. And there's a lot of variety of Linux, the same way there are a variety of Windows. Alright, so Linux can be used just as Windows NT, as a server operating system, or it can be used as a standalone operating system, meaning for one PC or one tablet or whatever. Unix is another one. Unix is another one that rivals Windows. I have never heard anybody complain about it, but I hear people complain about Windows all the time. I've never heard anybody complain about Linux either. Let me add another one. Now remember, we don't need to know every single operating system and how it works. What we just need to know is general things such as what it does and general functions. So we don't have to go in detail how this setup, how that works. We don't need to do all of that. I'm adding this one. It's called Ubuntu. Yes, Ubuntu. Ubuntu is another African. Ubuntu is another operating system. It's not so popular, but some people swear by it. A lot of people use it. Maybe when you get older and you want to invest in a computer, you can try out the operating system. Alright, so that's the recap. So we looked at types of operating system. We looked at some names of some operating systems. We spoke about the various types and their compatibility to the hardware. Do you remember what that word hardware means? No. Spanish town. Somebody don't remember them notes. Okay. So hardware just means the physical parts of the computer that you can touch. Alright. So let's go now. The process of starting a computer is known as booting. Alright. So I'm going to put booting in red because it's one of those words that you should know. And I'm pretty sure it's coming on your exam. I'm pretty sure it's coming on your test. So booting. What is booting? Okay. So booting is the process of what? Starting a computer. Now there's a process that the computer goes through. The first thing the computer does when it is booted is to check what is working properly. Alright. Let's analyze that. The first thing that the computer does is to check what is working properly. Alright, so we know what are peripherals, right? You learned that from grade 8, grade 7. Peripherals. Peripherals are those things that what are connected to the system unit. The system unit is the box part of the PC. Peripherals is anything connected to the tablet, anything connected to your phone. So therefore, anything connected to your laptop is a peripheral. I'll put a spelling down at the below. Alright, so let's go. If you plug the thumb drive in the system unit, some tablets can take thumb drives. Some PCs can take, for example, Bluetooth cards. Some can take earphones, some can take microphones, some can take webcams, whatever. Whatever you plug on it is a peripheral device. So your thumb drive is a peripheral device. Your Wi-Fi, so you have like the thumb drive type of Wi-Fi, is a peripheral device. Your Bluetooth looks like a thumb drive, but it's broadcasts a Bluetooth signal. It is a peripheral device. Your microphone is a peripheral device. Your webcam is a peripheral device. So anything we plug in on any of the systems is a peripheral device. So a good test question: true or false? An earphone is a peripheral device. And you will get it right. Better get it right. Okay, let's go. Okay, so it does this by what? Following certain instructions held on a RAM chip. Alright. So we remember RAM from grade 7, grade 8. Now we're looking at what? RAM. ROM. So this is a what? acronym. Notice it spells a word, acronym. Acronym, the acronym RAM stands for what? Read only memory. So ROM means read only memory. Now I gave you some pictures of various types of RAM chips. Don't bog your mind down too much with how the shape of it. Just basically know that it's usually look like this. Alright, so in grade 7 you learned about this one. RAM. No, it's not that type of RAM. It is random access. So there is a system on the computer which is known as the BIOS. BIOS, B-I-O-S. It's another one of those acronyms that you must know for your test. And BIOS stands for what? Basic Input Output System. Right, so the basic input output system, the way it works is it checks to see if everything on the computer is there